Hey, what is up guys? GuitarRock here, welcome back to another FWTR video. We are checking out the new patch note for 5th of April. So the first patch notes for the month of April. Ooh, I'm excited. So we have the new heroes soul gear, so we're gonna check them out individually. I'm gonna give you my deepest thoughts, analysis, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, let's dive right into it. Tower of God special soul gear update. We have the Blast of Shinsu soul gear set. If you equip 2 pieces, it increases attack by 5%. So that's a lot more useful than the usual resistance that they are giving out. Basically, the Valkyrie soul gear, most of it gives like 5% resistance or something like that. So definitely this one is a lot more useful. 5% attack, definitely usable in all game modes for sure. Alright, let's have a look at each of them individually. Alright. So first up, we have 25th Baam. Alright, so weapon, release taunt, wings, the leader, rock. So this improves 2 things, reverse flow control and the Shinsu control. Alright, I'm going to jump into the skill details and then we'll have a look at them compared side by side. Alright, first up, let's have a look at the reverse flow control, the soul gear weapon. It improves this particular skill right here. So increases skill damage by 14.7%. So that means you will get around 207% attack now. And disarm chance by 15%. Wow, that means you have a 95% chance of disarming. So that's incredible for PvP, for Battle of Honor for sure. 95%, that's higher than May's disarm. May currently have 90%. At the time of recording this, unless May receive her own Valkyrie soul gear that improves that. So double attack buff increases reverse flow control's effect range by 1 tiles. So that's really interesting. We are getting increased attack in his 3rd skill and 95% chance of disarming. So if you can set up this guy properly, he will be able to have the double attack as well. If you notice, all his attack on his skills have slightly lower percentage of modifiers in terms of attack, but that's because he has the double attack going on for him, which his soul gear wings will improve on. Let's have a look. So increase shield damage reduction by 5%. So basically he creates a shield around 2 tiles of all the allies, and this shield decrease incoming damage by 16%. So after the 5 additional % damage reduction, it increases to 21%. So pretty cool. That might be a difference of your heroes surviving or not in Battle of Honor. Definitely usable in guild raids as well. Depends on what kind of strats you are incorporating. But Tower of Dawn Hell is where I can see this particular soul gear being the most useful, because it's so easy to most of the time in Tower of Dawn Hell you will start surrounding your allies anyway. So I would say majority of the floors. There are a few couple ones where you are separated far apart, but on those that you are within nearby of your allies, definitely that could be a very useful skill to have. So double attack damage increased by 14.2%. Alright, so right now he has double attack which can deal 40% of additional damage. So with that, he will have his double attack increase to 54.2%. Wow. He's definitely a very viable hero for BOH. I really want to test him out. I might replace my Mei with him. But for now, definitely loving his skills. Really liking the disarm chance, 95% versus Mei's 90%. So yeah, very versatile hero overall. Does have the 2nd skill and 1st skill to snipe enemies from far away, which is something Mei seems to lack of. Alright, next up we have the Khun Aguero Agnes. So let's have a look. Alright, so the soul gear weapon improves on the 3rd skill, Emerald Sword. By default, he has 182.5% attack with 80% chance of sealing the enemies. So that skill damage increases by 11%, so it's like what, 193.5%. So seal chance increased by 15% as well, so interesting. So that is 95% of sealing chance. Obviously removes 2 debuffs cast on allies within range, increases direction strategy by 7% for 2 turns. So this skill is really unique. It's a very unique skill. You have this kind of very wide area of effect which covers a total of 7 tiles. So that's pretty interesting. We don't have any skill with this kind of area of effect before. This is the first time. But the problem is there's nothing unique that this skill actually provides besides of the range. Maybe the direction, strategy, power, that could be useful in guild raids, but overall in PvP, I don't see that being that useful. If you really want a seal, Celestial has it as well. Same goes for Yunwo. I don't see how this guy can be better at sealing compared to any of the 2 aforementioned heroes. Besides, you need a huge investment, lots of perfect genes to currently invest into this guy. So yeah, I'm not sure if it's worth it. That skill range is going to be definitely going to be useful in certain maps. I can see it being useful in the current ice map, maybe last week's swamp map as well. In TOD, definitely a very usable skill with that wide area range. Not sure about guild raids. I doubt you can find many users for this guy. Alright, let's have a look at the Soul Gear wings. Lighthouse Control. Alright, first skill. So increase skill damage by 24.2% and skill effect range by 1. Alright, so interesting. So basically, currently we have this shoots Shinsu laser beam, 122.3%. So that will increase our first skill to around 140 something, 46%, around there. Skill effect range increased by 1. So skill effect refers to the area of effect. I'm not sure how useful that is. I wish it was the range of fire that was increased, not the skill effect, which is basically the area of effect. Definitely useful maybe in guild raids where you have an ally within 4 tiles range and the ally is next to the boss. So basically you can heal your ally while still hitting the boss. Could be useful in those situations, but other than that, not sure I can think of any particular benefit for having the extra area of effect. Definitely, I wish the area of effect was wider. Like if you increase it, as opposed to 1 tile further, you increase 2 tiles more to the left and right, similar to Celestial's Thanatos' third skill. So something like that would have been better. Not sure how useful this is. You're just adding 1 additional area of effect further down. So yeah, I kind of have a mixed feelings on his Soul Gear as it is right now, because I mean, if you love Khun, sure, go ahead, buy him, buy his Soul Gear and everything. From a player standpoint, if you are not really fanboying into this Tower of God heroes kind of thing, he does require quite a bit of investment and he doesn't really bring anything unique to the table. Whatever his third skill does provide is what most of our current heroes already have. Seal, we already have that on quite a number of heroes. And the attack percentage modifier is slightly on the lower side as well. It stays within 200%. So kind of have a mixed feeling about that. I get it, he's a support hero, so he's not meant to deal damage, but I feel like Celestial is better at sealing enemies, and maybe if you're really looking for a strong hero to use Seal and Taunt in BOH right now, Yunwo is a much better option. So yeah, that's that. The only thing this guy has going for him is his third skill range, which I can't think of any specific, unique place where you can actually utilize this accordingly. Maybe you could use it in guild raids, maybe in Tower of Dawn Hell, but I don't think those couple of stages actually justify purchasing this guy's Soul Gear. But I could be wrong, unless someone can incorporate to use him in at least 3 out of 7 days in guild raids, then maybe he's worth it. But as of right now, the way I'm seeing it, he's just not worth it. With all the perfect genes you have to invest into him, his awakened skill and things like that, you might want to hold it back for a bit. And if you are low on crystals, I would suggest you to skip his Soul Gear specifically. Alright, next we have Yuri Jahad. Alright, so Yuri Jahad, very interesting, unique hero. She's a melee area attack type. You really don't see it often. So we have Crimson Tree Ice Pattern Gloves, which improves on the Red Velvet Sword, and Jahad's Fiery Princess, which improves on the Violent Fisherman. Alright, let's have a look. increases skill damage by 9.5% and range of fire by 1. Wow, now that is interesting. Alright, so currently we have her skill percentage modifier at 186.4%, so that will increase around 10% to 196.4%, around there. So despite being a very low modifier skill, the ignore defense that she has is insane. That ignore defense by 8000. Oh, imagine if you combo that with Nobelkin and Kingdom's Tailor. I'm pretty sure she would shred through any enemies with ease, no problem at all. So weakens all enemies within range, making them susceptible to 25% more damage for 2 turns. So I really like that it improves the skill damage and range of fire. So that's something that I would like to see more in skills, as opposed to the previous Khun Aguero's one, which improves area of effect. So hers improves range of fire, which makes sense because currently she only has one range skill. So I'm not sure how that will affect or interfere with the Tower of Dawn Hell, where the minions or the bosses have those passive skill where they can only receive skill damage from 1 tile or less. So basically, if you equip this soul gear, does it mean that it's now 2 tile range and they won't receive that damage anymore? So if that's the case, that's kind of sad. I guess you can still unequip and equip it whenever you need to, but you always need to remember, have to equip it back if you do use her for PvP, or that's going to be a difference of you losing or winning one match. Alright, so overall I really like it. Not too broken in any way, but definitely something usable and can be used in a lot of situations. Alright, the next one, Violent Fisherman, additionally decreases enemies' defense by 5%, decreases the number of enemies required for the critical damage effect by 1. Wow, that's interesting. Alright, let's have a look. So basically, her passive decreases skill damage from enemies 2 or more tiles away by 25%, and defense for enemies within a 1 tile range by 25%. So she does decrease defense for enemies within 1 tile range by 25%, so that number has now increased to 30%, so that's a lot of defense reduction. I really like it. It's something like Hyuxa's passive, where Hyuxa decreased the enemy's attack by 45%. Hers actually decreases defense by 30% if you have this soul gear. So that means that she will be extremely usable in Tower of Dawn Hell, definitely in guild raids as well. I can see a couple of days where she can shine. So it also decreases the number of enemies required for the critical damage effect by 1. Oh, that's interesting. So basically, if there are 2 or more enemies within 1 tile around her, her crit damage increases by 30%. So that condition has now reduced to 1. So as opposed to 2, if there are 1 or more enemies within 1 tile around her, her crit damage increases by 30%. So that is super good. That is very good. Like before this, you can't really... I mean, you still can use her in guild raids, but because you need 2 enemies within 1 tile range, which is going to be hard, many people might hold off on using her in guild raids most of the time because it requires the boss and at least 1 minion surrounding her in 1 tile, which is very difficult for you to obtain that. There's not much maps where you can actually do that. So that thing really cripples her usage in a lot of stages, I would say. But now, that limitation is now removed. So you only need 1 enemy within 1 tile range. So if you're using her for Tower of Dawn Hell, guild raids, basically you only need the boss himself to be in that 1 tile range to benefit from this increased crit damage by 30%. By the way, that increased crit damage by 30%, oh, that is nothing to laugh at. That's a lot of damage, man. Like, imagine how much that could stack up with the additional set items that you could give her. So definitely, I think I like hers the most compared to all the others. I would say hers is definitely worth the investment because I'm trying to look at this particular hero from every single standpoint, every single game mode. I feel like she can shine in every single aspect of the game right now. In BOH, Tower of Dawn Hell, and guild raids, possibly. Some people will try to come up with strats surrounding her, but definitely she's usable on Fridays for sure. So yeah, can't wait for that. Alright, next up we have Endorsi Jahad. Alright, so the first one, the Soul Gear weapon improves upon the third skill, which is the Bong Bong teleport. Alright, increases skill damage by 13.5%. Interesting. So in terms of her skill damage percentage, it's not that high, but she does have the final skill power increased by 20% if there are one or more enemies within its teleportation range, which makes sense because obviously she would hit at least one enemy, right? I'm not sure what's with that condition, but I guess it's better than nothing. It's a buff. So 153.3% is kind of low, but it's now increased by 13.5%. So that will bring her up to 167. So pretty decent percentage modifiers. Still not great by any chance. The range of fire by 2 though, that's overkill, I feel like. What's that for? Range of fire by 2. So right now she has 6 tiles in a straight line, in a cross, and diagonally as well. But what could you use that for? Like, you can't really use it in BOH, can you? You don't need the additional range to be able to use her in bridge map. I don't see it being useful in square map. It's pretty small. There are many heroes that shine there. She's not one of them. Swamp map, maybe. Ice map, maybe this week's one, but I don't really see her shine in any particular BOH map. But yeah, most likely she's more of a utility hero in Tower of Dawnhell. I don't see her being useful in PvP at all currently. I mean, there are many heroes that outshine her. Caesar's balance right now is just filled with awesomely good heroes right now, so it's kind of hard to compete right now. With Taihua currently being buffed, in BOH you might as well use Taihua instead. Revive is the meta right now, right? So can't escape that. But yeah, I really don't see. Maybe you can cheese her around in Tower of Dawnhell if you have this 6 tile range. You can. I remember there are a couple of stages in Tower of Dawnhell where you have to like make like a big U-turn. Those laser turrets stages, yeah, those freaking laser turret stages. So you can just use her, transport everyone and teleport everyone to the other side of the map, make your life a whole lot more easier. But is it worth it though? You are paying, I don't know how much these soul gears cost. I assume it's 1,700 crystals. Do you want to pay 1,700 crystals just for one or two of those specific maps which might or might not appear every single month? You're only going to use it once or twice. Like, yeah, I highly doubt anyone's going to be too heavily invested in it. But yeah, let's reserve our judgment for later on. Let's have a look at the next soul gear. The Soul Gear Wings, princess from a common family. Alright, so basically this improves on her passive. She does ignores all terrain damage, that's good. Puts her on the same page with Bell, Azrael, Ilunwo and the rest. So she is immune to those death tile terrain annoying stages in Tower of Dawnhell. Alright, so increases attack by 9%, final skill power by 5%. Alright, so this skill increases attack by 15% for her and allies in a 2 tile range. Interesting, that increases up to 24% right now. Final skill power by 5%, so she can stack up to 17.5%, so that adds up to 22.5% of final skill power every time she co-ops. Definitely not a PvP hero, because for you to actually take advantage of that co-op, of that final skill power, you need a couple of successful hits of co-op, which will take at least 1 to 2 turns onwards, and usually people would prefer like burst damage in turn 1 instead of waiting a couple of turns, unless it's a freaking long map. But even then, still quite hard to utilize it. That increased attack by 22%, that could be useful in guild raids though, but I can't think of any stage that you can actually use her successfully. The problem is she will mess up lots of strats for sure. Like, if you put her very far away, she will just zoom in and teleport next to the boss, and that will cause the boss to aggro towards her as opposed to the tank that she's supposed to aggro towards too. So I'm not sure, like I can't think of any strats where you can utilize her right now. and chances are if there are, it won't be used in that many days. So I feel like hers is worth skipping. If you're looking for a hero where you can use in multiple game modes, I'm leaning towards Yuri Jahad right now. Her soul gear seems to be the most worth it. I'm not sure how much it will cost, 1700 crystals. I hope that is the standard, I think, for most of the paid soul gear. I would advise you to skip Endorsi's one because while she does provide very unique utility, most of the time you probably won't be using hers. That additional range of fire by 2 is kind of overkill, and it seems extremely good on paper, but in terms of usability, like how often are you going to need that? It seems highly questionable that they would include that. So yeah, like there are a couple of stages in CR Continent where it's a very long map and you need like water access or swamp access to be able to cross to the other side of the map, and I can see her being useful in those specific maps. But that's the problem here, she's only useful in those specific maps. Like you can cheese around, teleport, bring your allies along and teleport to the other side of the map. That's very useful. But if you're looking for long-term investment, once you got past those specific stages in CR Continent, you probably won't ever use her ever again. So I would highly suggest for you guys to think carefully before purchasing Endorsi's one. I doubt you will get many use out of that extra range for the soul gear. For Baam's one, I would highly recommend it if you plan to play BOH a lot. I foresee we will see him in a lot of maps more often from tomorrow onwards once his soul gear is available for sale. I can guarantee you guys that. So he's a very strong hero in BOH, definitely very strong in both offense and defense. I can see many people putting him in garrisons as well. So yeah, just wait for that. He has third skill, awesome third skill, awesome second skill. His movement is freaking high as well, 5 movement. So definitely one of the best heroes of the bunch. So Khun's one is going to depend on how much you are willing to invest. Currently I don't really have much perfect genes left. I've invested a lot in my pink bin. Even my Yunwol and Jin Kisaragi, they are still hanging in terms of their skill levels. Most of it are at level 7, level 8. So this guy definitely requires a lot of investment. You need those perfect genes, you need those crystals to purchase his genes, you need additional crystals to purchase his soul gear. So that's a lot of investment to get a paper support hero which doesn't provide anything much to the table except for the unique third skill range. If you want my honest opinion, I would say Celestial is a better option in terms of paper support. If you're looking for a hero to invest in, Celestial is usable in World Conquest. Her passive is awesome, she can heal up all your allies. She's useful in PvE environment, definitely useful in BOH as well. So I don't see why would anyone tries to use him instead of her, right? So I guess his passive does bring something unique to the table, that defense ignore if you stack it a lot, extremely strong. Defense ignore seems to be the new meta like they are trying to create right now. So yeah, I will watch out for that. But overall, for those people who are out of perfect genes and stuff like that, you're better off in just using Celestial in most cases. So yeah, that's my 2 cents on it. Basically, if you are looking to invest for 2 heroes, I would recommend Yuri Jahad and 25th Baam. And it's going to come down to where you are looking to use them the most. Towards BOH PvP, I would say 25th Baam. But if you are looking to use more in a PvE environment, Tower of Dawn Hell, maybe Guild Raids, maybe Yuri Jahad's one is a better option to invest in the soul gear. Alright, so basically that's how it looks like. I'm not sure what that cute pet is. Many people say that that is a Ruck. I don't really read the manga, so I have no idea who Ruck is, but yeah, that's how Ruck looks like, I guess. There's 2 Rucks on Baam and Khun's soul gear. And then that is Yuri and Endorsi's one. Alright, so new packages and items. So there are no price mentioned here, but looking at the soul gear, so for Baam's one, you are getting attack and crit rate, HP, MP recovery. Wow, those are very useful stats. Attack, defense, HP, MP. Interesting. Attack, MP, HP, defense on Yuri. HP, crit rate, MP defense. Wow, those are all very usable stats. Like, I'm glad they don't include shitty crit rate or MP. I'm fine with MP regen, but as long as there's no like counter rate or something like that, then that's fine. Counter rate, counter damage, those are the worst stats you can get out from Soul Gear, especially when you're paying for them. I'm glad that they are doing it right. They are providing you all the useful stats: attack, crit rate, HP, defense. All these are awesome stats. Good job, Nexon, good job. Alright, couple of build updates and bug fixes. Interesting. Not sure if any of you experienced any of this. Let me know. Zoom. Alright guys, that's it for the video. It's a rather long one. I wanted to give my analysis on the Soul Gears so that you guys can make the right decision or the right purchase and help you guys in deciding what's the best for you. So if you find this video helpful, give this video a like. Let me know what you guys think in the comment section below. Are you guys happy with the Soul Gear of each of the Tower of God heroes? So yeah, if you're new to the channel, feel free to subscribe, give this video a like. I will see you guys in the next video. I'll be doing more. I guess I'll review the Heroes Mark as well. Why not, right? So yeah, stay tuned for that. Have a nice day. Goodbye.